is by not only interviewing guests, but also sharing our own perspectives and asking you, the listener, to interact with us on our show chat room via our Facebook page and on Twitter. Like to thank those who make this show possible and allow us to bring it to you. Our show sponsors are Commodity Outdoors, Veteran Outdoors, Enlisted 9 Fight Company, Warrior Media Solutions, and BooHammer.com. All right, everyone, welcome to another episode. Checking my audio, maybe up too much. Episode of Stu and the Nunn here. We are April 7th. Right here in the northern studio, Toby in just the southern, not the southern studio, back in the great US of A. Welcome, brother. And right next to you is our other good friend from that part of the Tejas, the Republic of Tejas, Mr. Travis.
That's Senor Travis Wilson.
Oh, Senor.
The Senor.
Does that make you Senor? Does that make you Senorita or
no? Garçon.
Oh, Garçon. And for our followers on Grindr, it could be Senorita, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hey. Like I'm open to trying different things. But hey, it's great to be back here in the United States. It's great to see everybody. It's kind of great to get caught up on a lot of stuff. I feel like since I've been back, I've been like drinking current events through like a fire hydrant. So it's different. It's a different pace here in terms of like there's actual media news cycle down there. There's not, which is great. My quality of life and mental health has been so much better. But it's great to get back. It's great to have our homie on. Travis. It's great to see you again. You're like one of my favorite human beings, especially your hair.
You tell that to all the boys.
Just the men's. The men's.
Yeah. No, it's good to be back. Good to be back.
Look at that hockey flow.
Look at that wet lettuce. Oh, damn.
Which is why we have such a big following on Grindr. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's getting there. But no,
Mom, just real quick, I let a public service. Mom, don't Google Grindr. Just let that one go and just keep watching the show. Just say that right
now. Yeah. That's always the PSA. Mom's on. It's really cool to see everybody and kind of get back, and you forget sometimes that when you live in another country that America's as awesome as it is, but it's great to be here and it's awesome. But it's been a minute since we've had Travis on, and we kind of want to get Travis on because as always, our man's doing some big things. So let's just jump into it, and let's talk about. I started noticing on the Instagrams, like this new thing pop up. But that's not true because I actually knew about it because you and I were on a hunt and we were talking about this stuff. And about every 3 days, I get like a DM that says, "Are you ready?" I've got business cards sent to my house. the not so subtle recruiting tricks, but
yeah.
But let's talk about it, man. What you got going on over there?
Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors. And you are obviously my muse, if you will, or one of the inspirations. Having hunted together, and I'll just say I've been on fishing trips and things like that. And so it's a nonprofit. It's a 501c3. We're official. We have a website, alphaeliteperformanceoutdoors.com. And I have had the luxury and the wonderful experience of going on some amazing hunts and fishing trips and outdoor experiences because of my military background, being a veteran. There's a lot of organizations out there that do that. And so you and I went on that bear hunt together, and we've been on, gosh, what else do we do?
Fishing, alligators,
Deer,
bear, deer.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And out of all that, the hunt is awesome. It really is. It's great to be in that element, in that world of, being with the brothers and having guns and going on a hunt and shooting and all that and drinking beer. But what really inspired me the most was the fellowship that I witnessed. Not so much me. I've never really, I wouldn't say that I have issues, or I mean, I do. I could probably stand to talk to a counselor or a few. Um, but to witnessing some of the conversation that were had amongst some of the other veterans, or just the civilian people that came out with them to support them, and to hear those questions and to hear the answers back and stuff like that, I was like, this in itself is healing for these veterans to be able to talk about it. God knows what one was going to do, and I'm not saying this happened on our hunts, but there are other ones out there that maybe there was a guy that wasn't feeling like he was going to be around the next week, but he went on this outdoor experience and got to be around his brothers and enjoy that fellowship and talk about things that he can't talk about at home with his wife or friends who aren't going to understand what he's going through. And so, I'm not trying to raise awareness. We know what those issues are that are out there, and I'm just trying to fill a gap, by taking some of these brothers out there again and spending time with them, listening to their stories. They can ask me questions. I'll tell my story. Or you, Toby. It doesn't matter. I think that in itself, the being able to talk to each other is the healing part of this, and that's where Alpha Lead Performance Outdoors is going to fill that gap. And so we don't, maybe we don't get a deer, or we don't catch our record, fish or whatever. It's the fellowship that happens during and after and before, the times that you're out there spinning, and it's that element that we like to be in, the outdoors. So
I mean,
that's where I'm at with it. That's what we're gonna do.
It's pride. It's proven beyond a doubt that makes a difference, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The guys,
I've seen it.
Yeah, myself included, right? The guys that I was in Afghanistan with, that we saw everything. We are going on. This is going on to our I don't know, 11th or 12th year, where since we came back, us and our families get together every summer and we do a reunion trip. And we used to camp in tents, and now we're older and we rent nice Airbnbs, but we still we get together, we sit. Our wives joke about it that all of them see the benefit we've gotten from it. They all see the therapy and how therapeutic it's been for all of us. Where we sit around the fire at night, we still tell the same BS stories. We still drink and talk and all that kind of stuff. But they've all, and I've talked to all the different wives and family members about this, where they have seen us all of us walk out of that 4 or 5 days together. And they're there too with us, and we're there with the kids, and we've all watched our kids grow up together, and they see that how, and each one of the guys has told me, these are guys that have bravado, that say, hey, I don't need help, I don't do this, but they know that when we do that, when we go hunting in October, November, and December all together, all of us do, that we come out of all that healthier mentally, spiritually, and everything. And these guys look forward to this. I mean, one buddy of mine is a cop. He sees the worst of the worst all the time, and he looks forward to those 3 or 4 times a year. And and that is his that and gets him real. And you guys have seen it. Toby has seen it more times than he can remember in all the trips he's done. It comes back to, Travis, that we've talked about on the show before, is that if you look back to those generations that came across back from war on a ship for 2 or 3 months, they did the same thing. They had nowhere to go but sit around and talk in the belly of that ship coming back across the Atlantic, and they worked through everything. So they showed up on shore, hugged their lady, and went on to become productive citizens. In today's time, we're back within 72 hours. We miss that. This fills that gap.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're hunting or you're just fishing or you're just out camping, it fills that gap. Critical need.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's that warrior spirit that we love. and we love to be around.
And you saw that gap open up, and you just felt compelled after experiencing yourself. You just said, "Hey, this is where I need to step up."
Yeah, and so with Alpha Lead Performance, the company that I own, and we're getting to a point to where we want to give back, and why not? And I'll just straight up tell you, I would much rather give my money to veterans than to the IRS. So why not start a 501c3 so that I can give my money to veterans into a community that I absolutely love, and and essentially just tell the IRS to go, suck it. You know what I mean? So.
So
they're going to get theirs.
Yeah, they're still going
to. Yeah. Oh no, they always do. They always do.
They're going to get theirs, but like, I like that. I like that sentiment though. Like, there's this program, this ability, that they've created. That's, the tax code. Everyone says what's a 501. 501's part of the tax code.
Yeah.
The C stands for chapter, and this just happens to fall under the chapter 3. Yep. In terms of types of nonprofits. 501 is the entire tax code that covers nonprofits. But
that's why you're going to be a great CEO at Alpha Lead Performance.
Yeah, I don't got time, my dude. I wish I did. I wish I had time. Like, I was talking to somebody, man. I want to say it was today. And they're like, "Hey, it's springtime. Every spring, I usually go, bang an axis or two, and put some like meat in the freezer." And like the springtime is like my personal time, like to do hunting and stuff, and like it's not happening this year. Like I'm not doing it. I'm like the meat that's going to go in my freezer this year is
probably my freezer's empty, bro.
It's probably going to be fish.
Toby, I gave away 5 deer last year. Do I need to send one down to you?
When I
start knocking them away down.
No, we're good. But no, I wish I had time to get out there more. This experience though, like with Veteran Outdoors and stuff, like it really gave me the courage to do what I'm doing right now. And what I'm doing right now is a direct reflection on the experience, the positive memories of doing Veteran Outdoors. And so like going out with guys and going hunting, going fishing, I grew up doing it. We've all lived in Alaska. We've all been in the North. We all like are outdoorsmen. We're all military guys that enjoy field craft and, really feel at home, when it's rainy and wet and, the 3 of us, could have a pretty good like shelter making competition. I believe that I would be like the best, but I'm biased.
Oh, because mine would be twice the size of yours. It'd take me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 11 Charlie, so I would find a vehicle and call it a FDC and climb my ass in the back of it. I'm just saying.
But like I love participating in great memories. I tell everyone every day, like I'm actually in the good memory business. It just happens to be in the fishing industry. So like it's great, that you're able to do this. And I love, like, obviously we're big fans of the company. We all use the products. In fact, like I'm stockpiling up on my products here this week and next week so I can like take it down, mule it back down to the southern studio.
Muling it the other way, going the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like usually like all the, muling's going, north, but no, I like to do my muling south.
And you can just put it in your suitcase. You don't have to stick it anywhere. You can just.
No, like like no balloons, like no wildness.
Sir, why are you featuring creatine? We sell it here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like every 30 steps, there's a pharmacy down there that you can get all kinds of stuff that you can't get here. But I want good quality products. I want to know what I'm getting. Protein, specifically is something that, I have a hard time, getting down there and getting good quality protein. Every now and then, you'll see, like the Walmart that they have there, or Costco that they have there, like try and attempt to bring in a quality product. But, nothing beats like the gold standard of protein and my favorite flavor. Y'all like brought it back. So like
vanilla wafer.
Vanilla wafer, man. I put that with my OJ.
since you're on the topic of supplements, I want to just put it out there before I forget, and so people can hear it up. Two of our products since the last time we spoke are approved by the Special Warfare Center in schools, which is our Oda Super Greens, which helps rid your body of heavy metals. Tastes delicious too. All of our products are geared on flavor as well. But yeah, Oda Super Greens is approved by the Special Warfare Center School, and our GBNT Sleep. GBNT stands for Green Beret Nap Time. But it'll get you to REM sleep. REM sleep is where all the healing happens. Weight loss happens. We don't get enough of it in our old age. But those are two products that they got their hands on. And now the J-Stock nutritionists and Swix, they put it on their list of approved supplements. So
awesome.
Congratulations!
That is
yeah,
awesome,
we're pretty
man.
excited about that. We're going places.
No, like so the greens. I know I've done the detox. Like I've done the heavy metal detox,
which
but
is
the
now
greens
combined.
so they're combined now.
Yeah, still does the same thing, same results, but now you're getting about 70 greens, if you will, ingredients, to include mushrooms for brain health, but then also the spirulina, chlorella, and cilantro, and those, people like to throw around clinically dosed. There's enough in there that it's going to congeal and help rid the body of heavy metals.
And I'll tell you, as a user too. I mean, when I first got that from you, I was like, okay, we'll see what this does. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know, Toby, if you could describe it, but when I'm taking that, I notice a difference. I don't know what the difference is. I just feel different. I mean, it's not necessarily like I feel more energy or anything like that. It's just hard to describe. It's not necessarily like, oh, I feel super healthy or I feel like I'm pure. Right. I just feel better when I'm doing the detox.
You're just you're cleaning out the body, and just so everybody knows, unless you are an alcoholic or you don't have to take a greens drink. A lot of these companies will tell you need to be taking this every month. Detox, detox, detox. Drink a greens drink every month. That is not true. That is just them, lining their pockets. At Alpha Leap Performance, we tell you 2 to 3 times a year is all you really need to do for a greens detox drink. Because if you have a functioning liver or kidneys, you're detoxing enough. Your body is an amazing machine. And so you don't need to be taking this stuff month after month after month after month. Some people 4 to 5 times, in a year is fine. But for the most part, 2 to 3 times a year is all you really need. But we had a Marine recon guy do his own urinalysis and blood work and stuff, and his antimony came back from 0.9 to 0.1. His lead levels from 17 to 7. So there were some significant decreases in heavy metals just after 1 month of using this product. So, and those got, back to the Twix peeps, and they were like, this is amazing. We're going to put it on our approved list of supplements. So we're happy about that.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people in our community forget like what we expose ourselves to or what we were exposed to. I mean, I'm not exposed to it anymore, so I need.
But you were, and that's the problem, that it's still in your body.
Yeah.
For the most part, you were exposed to far more levels than anybody else in this country. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, statistically, I would say it's probably accurate. But like to caveat what Troy was saying, I remember, when I was doing it last year, I was doing a lot of different things, but like I definitely knew I felt sharper, I felt better, and I feel like this is the old Saturday morning television commercial, like, it's part of this balanced, remember like back in the day that, like they'd show like corn pops or like sugar bombs or whatever. And, they'd say it's so awesome, but it's part of this balanced breakfast. And then there'd be a picture of like the orange juice and the grapefruit and all the like things that actually made the meal good versus like the cereal.
Right.
But you actually like have to like do like make it part of a balanced thing. All these things work in concert. But let's talk about the business. You and I are both small business owners, and like we've felt the pinch, man. We've been feeling supply chain issues. We thought, you and I had a conversation about it about this time last year. We're like, man, I really hope like it gets better. we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like, no, like it didn't get better. Like,
Yeah,
it kind of got worse.
it
And,
did for everything.
yeah.
Supply chain issues to, I mean, just to getting plastics, that's kind of fixed itself a little bit, but now, everybody that wasn't able to get them is getting them all at once or making these massive purchases. And ingredients. I mean, potassium is one of the easiest ingredients to get, but yet it takes 2 to 3 months to get it now. It used to take days. Creatine is at such a short supply right now. Whey protein, the Chinese, I kid you not, the Chinese are giving it to their pigs. They had swine flu. All their pigs, were killed off and all that stuff. So now they're using all this whey. They're buying up all the whey and they're feeding their pigs. Grain stuff. Apparently Ukraine's the only country in the freaking world that supplies, grains and stuff, which is horseshit. But now we've got this shortage because one country's, in a war and they're not able to produce it right now. It's absolutely infuriating. And it just, shit rolls downhill. My makers are extremely apologetic for it, but they're feeling the same pinch that we are, and it sucks. So,
and are they Travis? Real quick, are they passing on cost? I mean, obviously things are harder to get. The selections are fewer. They're going to go up in price because it's supply and demand. Are you seeing those costs come down, and are you able to contain costs? Or are you just forced to?
You know what? In this so I'm not going to raise my prices. I wouldn't say that our margins are, our margins are good. So much so that we don't need to raise our prices. I'm not going to do that. Our makers have not done that to us either. They're just absorbing that and we're absorbing it as well, so to speak. So we're doing this in the hopes that it's going to, the course is going to correct itself soon. But when you listen to, Secretary Yellen, she's saying it's going to get worse this summer. So, we'll see what happens. We've been through this not this bad in 40 years, but we went through the Obama administration. Oddly, this, weird shit happened then too, kind of. And we lived through it. So, let's just hope November is in our favor and we could start fixing some stuff. But yeah, we're not going to raise our prices. We still give a 15% discount to all of our customers and our new customers who are listening today.
Right, 15%.
Elite 15.
That's right, Elite 15. But I mean, I'm so good. The other concern, right, when we talk about the supply chain and everything, is just what we're seeing now with fuel cost and all. Right? And everything has to travel via something, right? Plane, train, or automobile, or truck, right? So a lot of folks are thinking, okay, that's gonna drive up costs too, right? Those truckers are gonna charge that much more to pay for fuel. Obviously, the oil's always been the root of all evils, if you would, but everything runs on that, regardless of what AOC wants. There's not enough other things out there to produce energy. It's gonna run on fuel. Or do you have any concerns to this summertime that may impact also, that if these fuel costs don't get back?
Absolutely. I mean, I was just on I-45 the other day, north of Houston, where I live, and I saw diesel in Texas at $5.09 a gallon. Over here, just north of Houston, an hour north of Houston. I mean, if you've ever been through Houston and, on the east side, you've seen all those refineries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The diesel is $5.09 a gallon.
A lot of dualies. There's a lot of dualies costing a lot of money right now in Texas.
I drive an F-250 and I'm happy that I only drive 5 miles to work each way. But yeah, I absolutely am worried about that. And I see it happening. I mean, when this administration is telling you that it's going to happen, they're not lying, and they're not really, they're just preparing you for their fuck up. Excuse me, am I allowed to cuss? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just preparing you for their screw up, and because they know that they're just jacking this country up and this economy and the supply chain issues and gas prices, and they don't have any plans to fix it. So, You know, it was Shannon Sharp. Are you guys familiar with Shannon Sharp? Great
The
football
football
player
player?
from Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
You know, he had a comment the other day to somebody. He said, I would gladly pay $20 a gallon as long as Donald Trump was not in office. One of the most ignorant statements I've ever heard in my life is from Shannon Sharp now. At least this month. What a dumbass.
Well, people
I don't care what president's in office to say that you'd gladly pay $20 a gallon.
Well, people like him and Pelosi and all these others who are not connected to the American worker, who are so insulated via their private security and the money they have in their bank, and in her case, you know, a freezer full of ice cream. You know, they can say all this because it doesn't affect them, right? They're not part. I mean, you don't even have to go that high. You can go to any major media personality, and they're making where it doesn't. They don't feel that pinch. They don't feel the pinch that the parent, the single parent, or dual working families, which is pretty much everyone now, are having to do that commute in traffic 30, 45 minutes each way, and just sit there just to make whatever they make, right? That cost of gas is. I saw a story the other day where a guy spent I don't even remember where it was, but he paid for $7,000. He was at a gas station, just paid for people's gas, and literally had people just crying because they were like, I thought this was the last time I was going to be up, and I wouldn't have enough gas to make a paycheck. This guy just dropped $7,000 filling up everything.
That's awesome.
Well, no, I mean, you just touched on something right there, Troy. The Nancy Pelosi, right? Or really anybody that works on the Hill. They don't drive. Like they don't physically drive. They don't go to the pumps, right? Like all these talking heads and stuff, like the media folks, like in New York, which is, you know, where, you know, Madison Avenue, and, you know, where you look at like the biggest collection of like ad agencies and, you know, media and all that stuff is at. Like they don't drive. Right? They have no connection to a fuel pump. Like they don't have cars. They don't drive.
They don't walk grocery store aisles. Guaranteed.
No,
not at all.
They don't do that. And so not only are they disconnected to it physically, they're disconnected to it financially
and mentally.
You know, and what was that?
And mentally.
And mentally. Like they're just they don't have like an actual connection to it. So, you know, you can say like dumbass things. Like, I don't know what Shannon Sharp's deal is. Like, but, you know, I've heard him say a lot of stupid things, you know, mainly racist stuff. Like that. He's one of the reasons I stopped watching ESPN. I just got, you know, tired of like the racist vitriol that, you know, comes out of that channel. And, you know, like the people that don't have a connection to the pump, like they don't actually know what that means. They don't understand that $5, you know, a gallon in diesel is twice what it was 8 months ago, 9 months ago. They don't understand like that's a financial burden on a family. They don't understand like, hey, I don't know, maybe there's this guy that has a fishing company in Mexico that has a bunch of boats that all run on diesel. Like they don't understand like my cost of goods doubled. Like absolutely doubled, like record period of time.
You say that they don't understand. I just don't think they care. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, the day before the government signed a contract with Tesla, Nancy Pelosi invested in Tesla stock $1.25 million.
That sounds like insider trading.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. She just had a gut hunch. Toby, don't say that.
Don't call her Martha Stewart. Come on.
No, like if that's true, that sounds like insider trading. Like,
that's absolutely true. You can Google it right now. I might be off my numbers. It could be 1.5 million. I know it's 1.2 to 1.5.
Travis, that's only one example. There's been number. That's how I know she is definitely retiring and leaving.
No, her and her husband and her son.
And her son. Right.
Yeah, they've made a ton of money off that stuff.
This is why
but people don't call them on it.
Right.
But if anyone else does it, like they go to jail for insider trading.
Right.
Oh yeah.
This is why I know.
Are allowed to do it.
This is why I know she's retiring and quitting, because all of a sudden she's come out against members of Congress being able to trade stocks while they're members of Congress. She just did that 60 days ago. So it's obvious she's like, yeah, she knows that the entire both houses are about to get flipped, and so she's trying to put in things in place to impact the new Congress coming in, because she knows she's on her way out. So she's all supportive that now all of a sudden Congress members can't trade stocks while they're acting members.
Right.
Because she's like bitterness, right?
She's
That's
about
just
to
like
not
petty bitterness.
So she's like, oh, the Republicans are about to take over. We're going to put this roadblock in for them. I'm about to bounce out, and then I'll keep on trading my stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. That's how you know she's gone. She supports something that she's guilty of doing her entire flippant life.
What a horrible human.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you left that state? Aren't you glad? Every day, I bet.
Yeah. No, I talk to my kids often about that, and they still live there, and but they they're happy that I got out. But anyway,
yeah. So let's get back on this, this nonprofit, what you're doing. How has it been so far? I mean, how is obviously there's a lot of organizations that have done this kind of outdoor, get veterans out there, let them reconnect kind of thing. Many have dropped off and at different levels of maturity or influence or impact. Yeah. How has it been from what you've seen? Are you specializing in doing one kind of thing? Are you able to get it to a point where it's common and repeatable, or?
So I mean, we just started. Like we haven't even done one event yet. We've gone out on a tri-tune and did a little fishing, but we're just getting started. So we're accepting donations. We do pretty well for Alpha Elite Performance, but a lot of our money goes back into our product. We just moved into a new facility, things like that. So we obviously want to raise money as well. And for other people who don't want to give their money to the IRS, that want to be able to give to veterans, give to Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors. And you can do that at alphaeliteperformanceoutdoors.com. But
we have the link. We have the link tree in the chat here.
Oh yeah,
people can click on that as well.
And we'll have other means of being able to donate as well. We just did the GuideStar thing where we our silver level in GuideStar, which is great. So GuideStar is like the premier, nonprofit watchers, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
So we're not trying to make this a party. We don't want to take veterans out, and we don't want to have a big ass party where they get boozed up and shoot guns and go hunting. Like I really want this to be a healing, awesome, fellowship type experience for these guys and the ones that I've experienced. So, and it's going to be more than hunting and fishing. One of the things that I'm working on right now is a tandem skydiving event. I was a free fall guy for pretty much most of my special operations career. And so we're going to do some free fall experiences with some veterans who never had that opportunity to do so. Toby, maybe we'll strap you to my chest and we'll.
Who run bar in town? Master Blaster.
But I want those who donate as well to be able to experience that and do a dual tandem, where there's a veteran who gets to do it and never experienced it, and a person who donated. It's just these bonds that this type of nonprofit, this experience makes. I have seen works amazing. It's better than just sticking pills and a dude in a hospital bed or whatever in front of a counselor. It's far better than being in front of a counselor.
Yeah, three of us are all big proponents of this, and this is really for our listeners and viewers. But I mean, it's if it's more than just, like, say, whether you catch a fish or whether you shoot an animal or something. I mean, like I talked about earlier, my guys that we do our trips every year together. When we go out, none of us get anything. When we go out and we've had it where somebody gets skunked and they don't get anything, they still walk away like, this was such an awesome 3 or 4 or 5 days. Yeah. Right. We do a hunt up in the Adirondacks always early fall, and it's rare that we get out of there with something, but we come out of there just whether we're just sitting around watching a little meat eater on the Roku, or we're cooking some venison up on the grill, or we're just sitting around talking and maybe having a little brown water. It's just that time together, and then going out and sitting in the woods and just enjoying God's country. And I think part of the rehabilitation for many veterans that get a chance to do this, maybe they don't do it all the time, maybe they haven't done it since they were a kid, right? It's going to bring them back to the time maybe their father took them out, or it's going to take them back to realize there's more to this world than the bubble that I've been stuck in or I've lived in and I can't seem to break out. When they're out there hearing things chirp and they're seeing that sunrise and the dew's melting off, and they're out there realizing, wow, there's so much more than me just sitting in a waiting room at a VA, or looking at a bottom of a tumbler at a bar, or whatever they do that doesn't really give them that relief. Being out there, even if they walk out of there bingo on anything, they don't have anything to put in the cooler, they're still going to come out of there. Because I know it, and I know I'm preaching to the choir because you guys know it, that you're going to walk out that much better of a person. You're going to feel more alive than you have probably in a long time.
Yeah. There's a comment in the chat box on Facebook from Mandy, and she's asking, about including like a behavioral health specialist and stuff. And I'm going to answer that, even though I don't speak for the organization. I'm just going to speak from anecdotal experience with Veteran Outdoors. That never works. When you include that behavioral health person, you bring that counselor, it kills it. The campfire magic disappears, and guys are not authentic and gals aren't authentic. They go back to this thing. There's this awesome accountability within that fellowship where people are vulnerable and people come clean, and they do that on their own. And as a result, with that accountability, guys, know that they can't pull that crap. They're not sitting in a room trying like a couple extra dollars, or a couple extra percentage, tacked on their rating. Like, they're legitimately having to face that stuff. They're like, if they're on the X, they're getting off of the X, and there's a guy on their left or on their right going, yeah, get off the X. That's one of the things that is so crucial when you take guys, and Travis, I'm going to use you as an example. Like, you're a successful guy. You've been banged around. When you say free fall, you forget to mention that you're also good at landing without parachutes.
I don't like to relive that experience, Toby.
You're really good at free falling, so good that sometimes you can land without chutes. But you're a successful guy, and when guys are around successful people, and and experiencing whatever this adversity is, right? Like, we used to do it, in Veteran Outdoors. Like, I'd try to do something really hard with adversity, so that at the other side of that adversity, comes that freedom, right? That liberation, like that euphoria. And when you go through that with somebody and you look up, man, it's hard to feel sorry for yourself, because you're like, then there's that humbling. You're like, oh yeah, like Travis, jumped out of a perfectly good airplane and decided not to use his parachute, and has like broken back and stuff, like and now runs a successful business, and like is back in fitness. The one thing that they told him that he could never do again in his life, he's like, no, I'm going to do that. And not only am I'm going to do it, I'm going to be a market leader in it, and I'm going to help make it better for everybody else. It's hard when you introduce that behavioral health person into that environment, you kill it, because like, all of a sudden people aren't vulnerable. They're not authentic. Then it's like, I sit there and I hear guys all the time, and gals, there's a difference between how they're feeling, what their life is, and their rating. And if they're having a conversation about what their actual quality of life is, or what they're experiencing day to day, it's this conversation. Oh, this might affect my rating. Well, like it's this. Like, there's a time and a place for the behavioral health person. There really is, and a lot of guys and gals really need them. I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just saying there's this fellowship in this moment that really helps when it's not there, because guys, they are more vulnerable, they're more authentic, and they're more inspired to do better, because they look left and right. They like, they start that they stop that woe is me, and they start the like gung ho is me. And I should coin that, man. It's like somebody write that
sounds
down.
like
somebody
a
write
t-shirt.
that down.
Toby,
That sounds like a
somebody
t-shirt.
write that.
I mean, you were responsible for an absolute success story, and a gentleman that I had the honor of meeting on my first hunt with you, on my alligator hunt, in Justin Menchaco. And let me tell you, we stopped at a gas station just to link up, and I was not expecting to meet who I was going to meet. I know that he's a Green Beret like I am, but I didn't know that he was shot in the head with a PKM, and that he is paralyzed on one side of his body. But that we got in our cars after me meeting him, and we started to drive, the last leg of our route, and I was in tears. I immediately got on the phone, and I'm sure my wife can hear me now, in the other room. I called her and told her who I had just met. And it was that fellowship for me. Just meeting him was already therapeutic. And I'm going to go spend the next 2 days with this gentleman who has lived through absolute hell. And I will say that in a success story,
huge success story.
Huh?
Chalk's a huge success story. You're a big part of that.
Yeah,
you're a big part.
And I felt compelled to help him. Like I have, a lot of connections in the stem cell world, and sent him. He's had a few stem cell treatments that we flew to his house, to get treated, and they've been great for him. But just spending those days with him and going alligator hunting, and learning about him, and him telling me like, Trav, I hope that I meet a woman. I don't know that I ever will. The last girlfriend I had, she was great, but she broke up with me. He's now getting married to a freaking supermodel.
Holy, like,
you know what I mean?
I mean, no disrespect. Timepiece.
Yeah, like, I mean, congratulations, Justin. You deserve it. He's such an amazing human. His soul is awesome, and I mean, I can't say enough about the guy. But
I have his like wedding invitation on my fridge, man.
Yeah,
I'm pumped about it. Yeah,
it's wonderful. But he's one of the guys who's been on these hunts who, didn't get anything. But he would tell me he goes on a bear hunt with his ODA team brothers up in Pennsylvania every year, and he has
Virginia.
He has yet to this day to get a bear, and but to him, it's not about getting the bear. He's with the guys that were with him when he was shot in the head and lived and survived to talk about it. And I know it's therapeutic for those guys as well, because they get to spend time with him. And that's what it's all about. And I got to witness that. And I owe it to you, because you honestly were my first, case of beer. And so, and Justin, I will never forget, obviously, I mean, we still stay in touch. He uses our products. He works out. And now he's getting married to a supermodel, and is just loving life. He's got a brand new house, and I mean, it's who knows what would have happened to that gentleman,
right?
If he didn't have things like this. And there's behavioral health and all those counselors that you can go see, and God bless them, they do a good job. But when you can spend time with a like-minded individual, and talk about things. And he and I did. We were in our bunkhouse talking about stuff, and I'm telling you, it absolutely motivated me. So I owe it to you, and I owe it to him, and these experiences that I've got to partake in, to start Alpha League Performance Outdoors, and I hope that it goes far.
And that's admirable. Troy. That's admirable, because you pay it forward, right? You experienced it, you felt it. Now you're in a position to do it yourself, and when you get to the volume and that Veteran Outdoors is doing it. Maybe but they didn't build that overnight. That wasn't. I don't think that was VOs. Theirs were far and few between at first, but at least you're carrying it on. And if you save one person, if you get some one guy or gal realigned and give them a quality of life the rest of life, then every bit of it was worth it, right?
Yeah. There's one thing I've also learned about the nonprofit world, is that everybody's extremely competitive.
The dogs are being competitive.
That's my hunting dog. That here's us talking about hunting, and it's like, I want to go.
I'm ready. But I was going to say that, the nonprofit world is extremely competitive. I ran a nonprofit for stem cell treatment, and it was just insane. It's nothing. I don't ever want to get into the nonprofit world of running a business. I want to get into the nonprofit world of taking care of people that I love. And I know that there are other organizations, wonderful organizations out there that do what I'm trying to do. And I'm just trying to fill a gap because there are guys that don't get to go on those hunts because those hunts were full, or fishing trips or experiences. We're going to go race dune buggies in the desert. We're going to do fun stuff like that and spend time together. And I'm just trying to fill a gap. I'm going to raise money when I can and, fulfill these obligations and promises of treating these guys when I can and where I can. And the first one we got coming up is in Cabo with you at Red
That's
Rum,
right.
June
Let's go.
6th
Let's
through the 13th.
go.
So we are currently, if you want to sponsor a veteran, I've got 4 special operations veterans and 1 Army veteran who are on the billet to go down and enjoy a little time with Toby at Red Rum Fishing in Cabo. And what a way to, I think it's pretty awesome. It's our first event. I don't know if we're going to be able to.
It's gonna be hard to, you're
Setting
opening
a high
up
bar.
on
High bar.
Yeah.
Opening up kind of hot, but bringing it all the way back, to our high school days. That's right. A lot of people have forgotten. Travis and I went to rival high schools, graduated the same year in Anchorage, Alaska, 1993. What's up? And go Diamond.
Same year my son was born.
Lynx.
The same year my son was born up there, and I was in the Army. I'm just saying.
Hey,
them punk ass kids in the mall. I saw.
Cooler year than you did.
you were those punk kids with purple hair and earrings in the mall. I saw, like, look at these punko kids going to Spencer Gifts buying.
That was definitely Travis. That was definitely Travis. I think.
No ears pierced on this body, bro.
No. He went to the East. I went to Diamond, and it's so awesome. Like, here we are years later, getting to take guys, to Cabo, and that's like the one of the reasons why, I bought that business is because, I'm able. Simmer down, dog. I'm able to. She wants to go, man. She's ready. She is ready to kill something. There's too many birds out right now or something. No, it's just awesome to bless people and be able to do that. Hey. Here, can you guys?
I saw her in a reflection. Yeah.
Just freaking
raising Cain. She's just glad to see you. But I'll be looking for the trip. I'll be looking for the anniversary of the big trip when you take some vets up to Alaska. And take him to Ninilchik. And take him to Kasilof or up in Montana Creek.
I don't know if Travis is allowed to go because he went last year, or no, 2 years ago. He went 2 years
last
ago.
Year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went last year, and he throws $10 in this freaking big salmon kitty at his lodge.
King salmon of Klawak, Alaska.
Right? And he goes out, and of course, he's on a guided trip, they hook it up, hand him the rod, and, he does his thing. Yeah, what happens? He wins the freaking Derby.
Open ocean king salmon fishing.
Would you win?
There's now pictures that this guy can't come back. He's already took all the money.
Yeah.
No kids got jackets last year for the winter because he cleaned out the entire community's slush fund with his fat king salmon that he caught.
Yeah.
You took all the money. You took all the money out of the pot.
It was quite the honor.
So
I didn't realize how big of a deal it was to catch.
What size salmon to win that? How many pounds?
You know what? It was only about 58 pounds, just shy of 60.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
it was short.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture.
Massive. You can see it on our Instagram page at Alpha Leaf Performance.
Yeah,
Outdoors.
We put the picture up. Yeah, it looked like a Brian Stelter of king salmon. It's short, fat, and round.
But the whole village, the whole island came out. Like, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. A boat came out. They found us out in the water while we were fishing for halibut. And he was like, "Hey, can we see the fish?" And they seriously came all the way out there to see us. I held it up and the dude looked at me and he's like, "Is that your first one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've been coming out here for 23 years. You're living my dream." And they just shut up and they slowly drove away. And I was just like, "Well, I'm sorry. That's just the brakes." But
there's a bunch of slash tires of the boat ramp afterwards.
But I'm telling you, so that's exactly what I want these guys to experience. I mean, if some dude says, "Hey, I want to pay for one of your veterans to go on a trophy bull elk hunt," and he ends up getting some Boone and Crockett monster, holy crap,
Amen.
how amazing would that be for him to get that experience, to hang out with other brothers. Yeah, I mean, there's just something about it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. People have to experience it. I would love to be able to someday throw $100,000 event so that we can all experience something like this.
Yeah. Hey, John Kaiser put up that he's been fishing since he was 6, and the biggest he's gotten is 32. John, you should come to Alaska. We were knocking 40s, 50s down like nobody's business. When I mean,
so John's,
you got to get all those John's Washington down, Kings.
He's Washington State and Oregon, but so Travis, just so you know, and I'm saying it on the air, John Kaiser is just messaged me directly and said that he would like to donate 4 seats, so a salmon fishing trip for 4 on his boat there in Washington State, just outside in Camas, Washington, near Washougal, on the Washougal and Columbia River, or Astoria, which is buoy 10 down, near the coast of Oregon, where the Columbia River meets the Pacific.
Yeah.
Also where they filmed Goonies.
That's right.
And so Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors now has the opportunity for 4 deserving guys up there, maybe some first group brothers of yours or something like that. If you want to go down, they can go fishing with John Kaiser.
Hey, let's not leave out the ladies either. There's some female veterans out there. There's some female special operation women out there as well that deserve this as much. So, and actually, one of our directors is a female special operations lady out of, I'll just say it, CAG. Not a lot of people know that, but we have females at Delta Force, CAG, as well.
Oh, and Rob McCready, also from that area, said if you do buoy 10, he'll add 4 seats. So that's 8 dudes or dudettes, that can go do that there. So congratulations on that.
John's good people. I met him right at the Yeah, he's got a great operation up there. I've seen pictures. Matter of fact, didn't you say you guys you fished up there one year in gas masks because of the fires?
yeah, almost. Forest fires were pretty thick one year, and we were like, we probably should have been in masks, but
you got to keep an eye on John, because he'll always keep an eye on you. If you
know just one though, just one.
I'm waiting for that chat. I'm just waiting for him to come back on that one.
It's a little veteran humor we're allowed to do, so
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, if I could count the times on at least one hand where like we've been doing something and his eyeball pops out inappropriately, and he like finds it, licks it, sticks it back in. Could be dinner. Like could be like I took him fishing here in Texas one time, and we're just hauling ass across Lake Travis. We're going about 70 miles an hour in this like super fast like bass boat. We're like just going really fast, and he's just like I see it, like it's about to happen. The wind's like sucking his eye out. I'm like slow down. Like don't want to lose it off the back, but no, good times. That's my main homie right there.
That's right.
All right, Travis. Hey, Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors. Rob put the link tree up in it. You got the event coming up down in Cabo. You're bringing 6 guys down there and doing a great thing with Red Rum as part of Red Rum Fish a Day in My Shoes. You guys are hopping in with that. That's awesome. You definitely need some money for that. So like if people want to throw, a couple dollars into the link tree there, you do the Venmos, the PayPals, or go right to the website, donate. I think you got a donate button up there. If not, you can also contact directly and support the guys that are going down for that. Also, Alpha Elite Performance. I mean, some of the best supplements on there. You said, now like the Swixies, the Special Warfare, like approved. So everybody can use Elite 15, as you said earlier, and join part, the Elite family and get 15% off. And that's for all the listeners of our show. We're always grateful that you support our listenership with that great donation or that great support discount. Descuente.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And then you got great merch up on the site. I mean, you got some good looking stuff up there for that. And definitely,
like, look at the shirt. Show the shirt that you're wearing. It's like one of my favorite shirts.
Look at that.
Oh man! Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt
with the AEP.
Man, I want it.
Rock body
man.
dude in the center.
Hey, you know who sports these shirts? I'm going to see him in a couple months. Tito Ortiz. You'll see it on our page. He wears these bad boys. He just got a new one sent to him today.
Well, Tito Ortiz is a good dude. He's the people's champ, the original people's champ.
That's right.
The Huntington Beach bad boy.
Yeah.
We were in Kuwait. We were refueling and heading back into country. And he was there with a couple of guys and came over, signed some autographs. And we carried some like mats, and so we like that you could put together. And so we I know like we were a little sick, so we had some headgear, we had some gloves, wraps, and then we had some mats that we'd interlock. So we'd always have like a portable fight gym wherever we were at. Yeah. And we set this fight gym up in Kuwait, where they were doing like a USO type, deal. And he came over and, signed. I still have the gloves that he signed, but he put his hand cause he's a little bit bigger than me. He put his hand on my shoulder, and he's got like lunch boxes, man, like straight up cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have to be accurate, like that was an area suppressive weapon. Like that was not like point accuracy. Like that was, Like, it's just like, I mean, his hand was probably like, and I don't have like small hands, but like he had like just enormously like hulkish hands. I remember like in the picture, it's like his hands resting on my shoulder, and it's like there's no blocking that. Like,
yeah, you're done.
But what a guy! What a nice guy. Signed everything for everybody. Like truly supportive, genuine, sincere.
And he's leading a good fight in Huntington Beach in the assembly, I believe he's a part of there.
Yeah.
He's kicking ass for all the right reasons. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize he's a single dad too, and like still handles all that business too. So,
well, hey Travis, you've been on for an hour with us tonight. We really appreciate it. We covered a lot of topics. Anything that we didn't hit on that you want to just leave our listeners and viewers with? That
not that I can think of. I mean, just hold the course, folks. I know it sucks right now in America for a lot of us. But this too shall pass. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. So, Toby, anything from you?
No, that's it, man. Everybody, please support, the companies that support us. Obviously, Alpha Elite Performance. Please donate Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors. There's some of their upcoming trips. Gear for Grunts. You're repping them tonight. Another great shirt. I don't know where that shirt was made, but probably the same place that awesome shirt that Travis is wearing was made, and the same shirt that I'm wearing was made. But like, but keep supporting, the people that support us. They're all veteran-owned businesses. They're all veteran-owned small businesses. Shops. When you support someone's small business, you're supporting their dream. Don't ever forget that. Pennies and nickels equal dollars. So like, support these businesses. Gear for Grunts. One of the bigger companies, obviously, that we, that helps us out is 9 Line, but that's only because Enlisted 9 Fight Company falls under their umbrella. So like, again, another small business, veteran-owned business. So like, support them. Gear for Grunts, Alpha Elite Performance, Kermode, and of course, why don't you get on the socials and check out all the great new content coming down from Cabo San Lucas, with Red Rum Sport Fishing.
Yeah, little video clips with music and all kind of stuff, man. You're strong on the social.
Man. We're getting there. We're getting there.
But
like you want it done right, you hire the right person. So
you hire the Canadian who lives in the U.S. working in Mexico. I tell everyone, man, you're the best example of NAFTA. You got all borders covered, dude.
The American dream.
The American dream.
The North American dream. Living the North American dream.
That's it.
From tip to tip, baby. From tip to tip.
Tip to tip. There we go. There's another shirt idea for you. All right. Well, hey, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Travis, Toby, everyone else for tuning in. Good to have you back in the States for a little bit, Toby. And be sure and tune in next week here on stewandthenunn.com. We are working on a great show, an awesome guest for next week. Hoping to hear back from him soon. We will start letting everyone know about that as soon as we get that locked in. But stay tuned in. Follow us on the socials. Like our Facebook page. Follow us on the IG. Everything else. Again, wish you guys all a great night, and let everyone get back to their families and their evening. Thank you all. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Stew and the Nunn Show, and we hope you had as much fun listening to it as we did hosting it for you. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. You can find all these links at stewandthenunn.com. We will talk to you again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Kermode Outdoors, Veteran Outdoors, Enlisted 9 Fight Company, Warrior Media Solutions, and BooHammer.com. Thank you again, and have a good night.